don't give up. Just don't give up. Just don't give up. Hey everybody, happy Sunday. Today is a planning day and I'm excited because today is like last week I was traveling and speaking and everything else. So this past week was a little bit more chaotic because we had, sickness and other things. But today is a true let's plan, let's get out ahead of it. Let's make sure the next couple of weeks are really great. Andrew will hopefully be going back to school tomorrow. He's over here playing video games. And so I just looked at the schedule and realized, oh my gosh, Friday is a half day for him. And then he's out all next week because it's already Thanksgiving. And I just feel like, what is happening to this year? It has gone by so fast. It's blowing my mind. It's hard to even believe that a year ago we were on the road still and just how much our lives have changed in the last year. But I'm pumped for everything that's coming up. I feel like so many of the dreams I have been working toward for the past more than decade of my life are like within my grasp, and I'm just pumped for it. I'm excited for it. And so I'm ready to get out ahead of my schedule. I'm ready to plan really well for the next few weeks. And yeah, let's do this. I'm ready to finish this book. I'm only through the first act, but I can feel the momentum of having sat down and done some work. So today I just started my computer back up. I've got to edit the day 12 vlog. Then we'll have lunch because it's already been kind of a lazy hang out with the kids sort of morning. And then this afternoon, it's going to be all about planning next week, getting the groceries planned, meal planned, prepping for the week. I have a presentation for my Publish and Thrive crew, but it's going to be a busy day. I always feel like Sundays and Mondays are kind of my power days. I know for a lot of people, Sundays are rest days and Mondays, they hate like the beginning of the week. But for me, Sunday and Monday are like my power team. I love these 2 days and I always get pumped for prepping for a fresh start and a new week. So let's do this. This isn't the best lighting, but I finished my planning. So this is all of my tasks that I hope to do this week. This is my estimate of how long all of these tasks will take, and I'll keep track of my time throughout the week. And then my week on 2 pages spread is basically where I take all of the tasks I hope to do and I schedule them out as to when I plan to do them, as well as what other obligations and things that I have. And of course, as I'm doing this, I am thinking not only about catching up. So I made a little note here that NaNoWriMo goal by Friday is 33,333. So I have a lot of catching up to do. I basically need to more than double my word count this week. So if I'm going to catch up this week, that's my goal. And so I have created space each day to do that. But I'm also looking forward ahead to what else is coming up in November and December so that I can make sure that I've got my HB90 planner ready to go and, the course is ready to be launched and all that stuff, because this week is not just about this week. Next weekend, like a week from, this, like 2 weeks, I guess, from today, we're going to be launching HB90 class. So like all that work has to get started this week. So I'm always kind of thinking and working a couple weeks ahead. So I've got all those plans. And then I also like to, on Sundays, go ahead and start planning out exactly how I'm going to spend my time on Monday as well. And I have a bunch of sort of admin tasks and meetings and things like that that happen on Mondays. So it's going to be a busy week, but hopefully it's going to be a good writing week. However, I haven't written today, and we're coming across like 9 p.m. yet again. So I'm going to go jump in and see who is sprinting tonight. And I'm going to see if I can jump in for a couple sprints and try to get at least 1,000 words so I don't have a 0 day. Okay, so I made some spearmint tea, which, by the way, I have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. If you do too, which I know a lot of women in our community do, spearmint tea makes such a difference in my symptoms. I've been trying to drink spearmint tea 2 to 3 times a day, and I love it. It's tasty, and you can do like spearmint peppermint, but not just peppermint. Spearmint tea few times a day can help a lot with your symptoms. So if you enjoy that, go for it. You can do it iced or hot. I am sprinting with Lisa. So she is live right now on YouTube and on Facebook. So we've got a lot of people hanging out and sprinting with us. She sprints on Monday nights, but we have somebody sprinting every single day of the week, sometimes multiple times a day. So if you want to come join us, that link is always in the description for the Heart Breathings Writing Community, and people sprint on Facebook or YouTube. So I have my notes here, and I'm going to start working on Act 2, like exactly how I want it to go. And I don't anticipate that I'm going to have like a ton of words right now tonight, but I'm hoping that I can get situated with what's happening in Act 2, because I need to write 17,000 words this week. And I know that that's going to be a lot more feasible for me if I've actually written or worked out my plot. According to the Nano site, starting today, since we have like 18 days left of Nano as I'm recording this, I need 1919 words per day. If I can get 1,000 words today, I need 1970 words per day. That's still doable. It's when we get deeper into the month, if I end up where I'm at a point where I need like 3,000 words a day to catch up, that's when it gets hard. But right now I'm still in my manageable zone, 2,000 words a day or less. So I'm hoping I can maintain that. So we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to get to work. Okay, so I have spent a couple of sprints working on I got a few little post-its. I got 3 post-it notes up there. So some clarity. I also like to spend a little bit of time going through photos on Pinterest, trying to find visual representations of what is going to happen in my story. I put them up on the board. Sometimes I'll put them in my plotting planner. And I'm just such a visual person that helps guide me and keeps me like grounded and centered on what's going to happen next in the story. But I'm also realizing that Act 2 is going to take a bit more time. I'm not going to be able to just slap some post-it notes and a couple scenes, because this is really the part where I'm going to start weaving in the second timeline a little bit more. There's pieces of it in the first act, but the second act is really where the secrets start to come out. And it's really important for me to understand whose secrets come out when and how they tie to the current timeline. So as much as I've been resisting the thought, I'm going to need at least a day or 2 full days to pull out that graph paper, work on the board, and really focus for like a few hours at a time as to how these are going to get woven in. And I'm so resistant to taking the time, because if I get 2 more days behind, I'm going to be another 3,000 words behind. And I don't want to do that. But I also know from last year when I tried to just power through and write anything, that I ended up throwing all of those words away. And so this is a point where it's kind of like I'm fighting my own process. And I am going to take a step back and say, you know what, if I don't win Nano, but I actually have good words on the page, that is more of a win than having 50,000 words that are crap that I am just going to completely throw away. Like sometimes we need to give ourselves permission to write crappy words just so we can start getting through the story, right? There's a time for that. But everybody has their own individual process. And even if I'm writing crappy words, if it's the right story, then it's worthwhile because I can edit that. But if I have to throw it all out because none of those scenes are scenes that are going to be in the final book, and I was just trying to push myself through getting random words on the page, I don't think that's going to be as helpful for me. So really, as I'm sitting here thinking about it, it's like, okay, I would much rather have 30,000 really good quality words that are going to maybe still need to be edited, of course, but actual, like, related to the story and the scenes that belong in the book, rather than 50,000 words of stuff I'm going to throw away. So I think what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to write one of these scenes out of order, like maybe part of this midpoint scene, and just see if I can get it on the page so that I don't have a 0-word day. And then tomorrow it's a super busy day, but I do have a block of writing time that's like 3 hours. And I think I'm going to plan to spend that time brainstorming and working on these secrets. And just giving myself that time. And then maybe tomorrow night, I'll still be able to get some words in addition to the brainstorming. And if I can do that for a couple of days, maybe I'll be through the hump and I'll be writing again. So it's a little bit scary because I know I'm way behind, but I'm going to keep working and I'm going to do what I feel is right for my process. So let's get one good sprint or 2 good sprints in. It's already 10:30 at night. So I'm just going to try to get a little bit done. I don't want to push myself too late tonight because I need for tomorrow and the rest of this week to be really good. So we'll see how far I get. Whew. Okay. Just don't give up. Just don't give up. Just don't give up. 16,780 words. So out of order, but I like them. They're going to need a lot of editing, but I'm getting there. I'm not giving up on myself. So let's take a look. 16,780 in the manuscript, and over here in this sidebar, you can see I have all kinds of crazy things. I've got flashbacks that don't fit in. I've got a section that's just brainstorming thoughts. I have like some chapters, I jump from chapter 4 to chapter 9, 10, 11, 12. And then here I have chapter question mark, which is a flashback scene. Oh my gosh, it's a bit of a mess. This is probably one place where Scrivener really owns the day when it comes to writing stuff. And I wish that there was a way in Google Docs that I could just take this chapter and move it like you can with Scrivener. But maybe someday they'll create something that can be a little bit better. But either way, 16,780 is the word count that I'm at. And so when I go over, I put that into Nano, it tells me that I have 1330 words for the day. So I'm at 16,780. Par today is 21,667. So I'm definitely still behind. I'm going to need about, a little bit less than 2,000 words a day to catch up, but I feel like that's manageable. I'm going to, like I said, plan to take some extra time tomorrow to plot. So I have all my sticky notes. I have my graph paper here. And of course, I have my big plotting wall. So I've got a big chunk of time. I'm meeting with Renee in the morning, but I've got a big chunk of time in the afternoon before my business meeting with Accelerate. And I'm hoping that I can fill out most of this. And I also have this character sheets over here. I'm sorry, it's so dark in here, but I have these character sheets over here. And what I'd like to do is write out everybody's secret. And if I can get a photo of what everybody kind of looks like, just like an actor or actress who looks like them, then I'm going to write out everybody's secrets, have a visual here, and I'm going to start weaving in how those secrets become a part of the main timeline. And if I can do that, I think it's going to push me forward and make those 2,000 words a lot easier, but it might take me a few days to do it. And I've just got to get my mind centered enough to make it happen. But you can kind of see here an example of what I like to do with the visuals. So you've got a scene with them in the forest. This is kind of an idea of what maybe the cabin looks like. This is the cabin, like front porch. Here's the interior of the cabin. And then here in the second part, it's going to be more of the some of the flashback type photos, but also some of the sort of murder mystery stuff, which, you know, we've got the end of Act 1. When they head into Act 2, we start moving, you know, into the new world, which is basically moving into what is the promise of the premise, as they say, or what we know is going to happen here, which is they're all gathered at this cabin. And now there's worries that whoever hurt Vanessa or whatever happened to Vanessa is now happening all over again. And that is basically what, you know, what we're going to pull into the second act. So I'm excited to get moving on it. A little nervous at how far behind I am. Okay, so that's a wrap for day 13. It's been a long, very busy day, and I am out of energy. So I'm going to go to bed, and I will see y'all tomorrow. All right, good night. Bye.